Hello everybody and welcome back, and the party are here. They are standing at the cliff edge looking over the dead bodies of half of the evil party. The rest of them have run into their fortress here and closed the door. The door has been held with a hold portal spell, so that spell, which I didn't think would have much use, did come in handy. And this area here is completely flooded with lava, and it's beginning to trickle into various cavities and other oubliettes in the floor. It will subside and eventually contract and cool, and there will be a stream of lava left behind. But depending on how it dries, what path that stream will take, nobody knows. This dam has gone, and all the skanks are dead. I valued skanks at 75 XP each because they are essentially a bugbear crossed with a Rakasta, the cat-like people, and that makes them a level 3+1 monster, and they do 2 claw attacks. And with 100 skanks dead, that's 7,500 XP. Quite a haul, but I would also like to award some quest experience. This is something that I have seen crop up in a couple of adventures. There were a couple of small incidences in Horror on the Hill and also in The Night's Dark Terror, but the quest experience is very minor compared to treasure experience. I mean, I think there've been sums like 300 XP for the party. You can pick up a necklace worth more than that, so I was thinking of awarding 2000 XP for getting the plan together, freeing the prisoners and killing the skanks. As always, any thoughts on this are welcome. Also, I did try and search online for a BECMI explanation on calculating XP for enemy parties. That might be in the book and I've just overlooked it. But for example, if like an enemy cleric is level 4, I would assume you look at the level 4 XP, and this cleric would have had 2 asterisks, one for the fact he can cast spells and one for having magical equipment. So then you would also award the XP based on the number of asterisks. That might be quite simplistic, but I would appreciate some calculations for a couple of examples, such as a level 7 magic user who can cast spells and has magical equipment. So that's just some thoughts there on game mechanics. Let's look at the evil party. Malin cast a really good fireball at 27 damage. The average of 66 is 21, so definitely above average and definitely good for him because he has cast a few fireballs and they've always been underwhelming. After he cast it, there was so much going on that I forgot it was 27 and I thought it was 23, and so I have since recalculated damage. The cleric got wiped out. He had 13 hit points. He was only level 4. So even though he made his saving throw, half of 27 is more than 13. There are 3 of the evil party left. They're the ones in the fortress. I recalculated their damage and I also gave them each a potion of healing, which they have since drunk and largely did well. So the elf is on 11 hit points. The magic user is on 27. Her hit point rolls and her constitution bonus did well for her. Fighter, who got reduced to 1 hit point, is back up to 6, so they are in a very weak state. Maradin, Tybor and the rest of the crew and all the adventurers who were here fulfilling all the other module quests like treasure maps and dinosaur hunting, all of those adventurers have gone. There was the second way up, which was this extremely claustrophobic narrow tunnel that was often filled with boulders. The lava probably will block off some of that in the future, but it moved slow enough for them to make their exit that way, and their job is to shepherd 100 prisoners through the perils of the jungle to the ruined settlement of Tanaroa and set up a base there until they get rescued. And while they are living in Tanaroa, should anything happen to the main party, there are replacements there. Malin is looking at the charred bodies of the remains of the evil party, and he's got one hand running through his hair and shaking his head saying, "Did I do that?" He's quite pleased with himself, and yes, he did come up trumps. However, Carrick gives him a canny eye because Malin has, in the past, had a certain detached fascination for morbid things like torture equipment, and as he becomes more powerful, he might start to question what side of that morbid fascination he is actually on once he realizes he's actually capable of it. Right, that's why Carrick is giving him a very hard stare. Currently, everyone, apart from Malin and Donard, who cast spells, are still invisible. So Liz gives Malin a good slap. He asks, what was that for? She becomes visible because she attacked, so she just says, so you can see my lovely face. And Carrick gives a rather approving nod to that slap, until of course Gareth Ironhand slaps him, so Carrick slaps Gareth back, and everybody becomes visible. And of course, when Gareth Ironhand becomes visible, he is welcomed into the party. His addition was a bit of an oversight in the plan. He was instrumental in busting the dam, but nobody ever thought, well, what will happen to him afterwards? So he has joined the party. And of course, it's up to the party that were here to redistribute all the equipment, and some of it, in the haste, they managed to drag halfway up the stairs and dump it. It was above the lava level. So eventually everybody gets their equipment back and Malin starts hugging his spellbook. So Gareth needs some equipment, and luckily there is a body of a dead dwarf at their feet. Malin takes his wand of magic detection and uses it, and sure enough a lot of the treasures do glow. That wand has 29 charges left. So Gareth takes the plate mail armour off the dwarf, it fits him nicely, and the dwarf's shield and hand axe glows. The shield looks quite fancy and has some classical dwarven designs intricately embellished over it. He takes the shield and, as a gift for his rescue, he offers it to Carrick. Carrick takes it and gives Gareth his old shield. That is a shield +2, so Carrick's armour class will increase by 1. If you are using the weapons mastery system, all the demi-human classes have basic proficiency with every weapon. If you have an expert trainer, you can take that up to skilled on a 70% chance of success. I did roll for that and Gareth got 73, so he is not skilled with the hand axe, even though that is his weapon of choice, which we can remember from the last time. Still, that's not surprising, as Gareth is a bit of a bard and will spend more time with his lute and his pipes rather than weapons training. Still, not the best. We might as well quickly look at Gareth. Here he is. His strength is above average, that's good. So with the hand axe +2, he will do d6 +3 damage. His constitution is good, and that has given him an extra 12 hit points, which I think will save his life. With the shield and the plate mail, his armour class is 1. So welcome aboard, Gareth. Everybody slaps him on the back and says they're glad to see him, and it's just like old days. And Gareth says, with some gravity, that thank you for rescuing me from another of these blasted workshops. Because if you remember from Horror on the Hill, we first met Gareth Ironhand in the dungeon where he was being put to work by some hobgoblins. Next up is everybody looks at the rest of the treasure. Some of the equipment does look fancier than what they currently have, and Liz quite likes the look of the leather armour. Luckily the thief was slightly built and it sort of fits her. She has to pull the belt in and maybe the shoulders are a bit wide for her, but that's leather armour +2. So that's another bonus to her armour class. Donard quite likes the look of this warhammer. It's got some nice fancy Tralidarian knotwork made with metal wire on the handle and the shaft, and that's a warhammer +2. He currently has a warhammer +1. It also had +2 against the undead, which I don't think ever got used. And of course Gareth has got his new shield. So with all of that in place, we can upgrade the characters' sheets as to their armour classes and their damage. I also did some tidying up admin with my own character sheets, largely because I hadn't updated them and I think I was using old saving throws. Maybe some of them should have made a saving throw when I thought they failed it. I also took into account the system used in the rules cyclopedia, where the bonuses from different skills can have an effect on your saving throws. So for example, Constitution helps save versus poison, Strength helps save versus paralysis, and I also took into account the fact that everybody has a ring of protection +1, Liz has a ring of protection +2. and these also give a bonus to saving throws, so I thought it was better to write on the sheet the final results of all the additions and subtractions rather than using the saving throws that are given and then having to remember in the heat of trying to remember everything else what additions and subtractions there are. That should help with just general gameplay. Some of the saving throws did rather well. Donard has a Ring of Protection +1. He also has a +3 Constitution bonus, hence his really good hit points, and that means his save versus poison is just 5. That's quite good. Amongst the treasure, there is a collection of potions. There are also 3 rings. Now, Donard and Carrick already have a ring on each hand, rings of protection and rings of fire resistance. One of the rings does look really similar to the 2 fire resistance rings, so there's a good chance that is the third one, and indeed it is. The other 2 rings, the properties of which are unknown, so who is going to get which ring? Well, I made a little table of Liz, Sylvia and Malin and each of the rings, and then I rolled a percentage dice for each person to see how much they wanted each ring. And Liz really wanted the Ring of Fire Resistance, almost to being adamant and spoilt about it. Maybe it's because Donard has one, she wants one too. Malin also really wanted it, and I think Sylvia just stepped out of that fight. But Liz got her way, so she got the Ring of Fire Resistance. When it came to the Ring of Spell Turning, which is actually a Ring of Delusion, Sylvia thought she might choose that one, and Liz hummed and hawed, comparing the Ring of Fire Resistance to that one, and she sort of pressed for it, but everybody said, listen, you were 100% adamant that you wanted that ring, so take it. So Sylvia has got the Ring of Delusion, and that leaves Malin with the Ring of Water Walking, which came off the dwarf and is rather plain and ordinary, and he is really not enthusiastic about that. He is looking for the ultimate sorcerer's ring that will augment his magic, and this ring came off a dwarf who are notoriously unmagical, so that explains his lack of enthusiasm. But he wears it anyway. Sylvia looks at him a bit funny, thinking that was a bit hasty, because this is an evil party, and therefore their treasure might be tainted with evil. And indeed, in the evil temple underneath the Caves of Chaos, way at the beginning, Donard put on a cursed helm of alignment change and became good and conscious and aware of all his past wrongdoings. Right, so he goes, not sure about that, and Sylvia, who is wise enough, she does get a wisdom bonus. She herself might not put this ring on. Donard does say that he can cast Remove Curse, so if anybody wants to pull the ring off again and they can't, well, his services are there. I'm going to do a 3d6 roll, and I will give Sylvia her wisdom bonus of +1, so that's a 15. If she rolls 15 or under, she decides to put the ring in her pocket until its magic has been divined. Yes, and that's a 9, so yes, Sylvia is not comfortable putting that ring on that came from an evil cleric. She has saved herself from a curse. Next up, the party have to figure out what to do with the 3 remaining members of this group which have locked themselves into this fortress here. Carrick is all for going after them. Well, we can't leave them because they may come up the stair after us and one day ambush us from behind. Gareth is indignant and he says, let's not worry about an ambush. These people are slavers. They need to die. And that is generally the consensus. Something has to be done. Sylvia warns that there are 2 powerful magic users there, and we also don't know who else is in this fortress. Most of the party's spells have been depleted in the dam busting, and they think, well, if the party rest up, then it will also mean that the evil party will rest up. But Donard points out that their cleric is dead, and even if they rest overnight, they will still be in a bad way. And all they cast up, reminds Malin, is a lightning bolt, which nearly hit his feet, and a strange spell nobody has seen before called Firewall. If they do rest up tonight, that's all they will get back, whereas the party will get back so much more. So on balance, the payoff for resting and rememorizing spells is much greater for the party than for the evil group in the fortress. The party will get a much better benefit from that. I think they're going to set up watch like halfway up the stairs here so they can keep an eye on this door. Liz has tried the door and she can't pick it, so we will need a knock spell. And the person who has a knock spell is Sylvia, so her phantasmal force will go and that will become a knock. And we've chosen these spells. Malin's are much the same as always: magic missile, shield, mirror image, invisibility, invisibility 10 foot, and fireball. Donard has cure light wounds. He's got 2 silent spells, protection from fire, and 2 continual light spells. Now, the strategy to beat the elf and the magic user: the party are going to use the same silence and invisibility trick they used in the first part of the morning's plans, and that is they're going to cast silence on Liz and either Carrick or Gareth, maybe Gareth, and they're going to cast invisibility at least on Liz so she can move with this radius of silence around her. So if she stands beside a magic user and remains unseen, then that magic user can't cast, and if the magic user moves, Liz can just tag them and keep them underneath the silence. The continual light spells are to create 2 more of these continual light pebbles. Malin thought his lantern with a continual light garnet was a good thing. It's not so special anymore, but he loves his lantern. And considering a garnet is a reddish gemstone, the light the lantern gives off has a slightly pinkish hue to it. But these 2 continual light pebbles will be used to disrupt any infravision that might reveal invisible party members. They can just be thrown into a room of darkness and disrupt infravision. And also, having spent a week in a prison, Donard had plenty of time to cast Cure Light Wounds, so everybody's on full health. The question is, what if the evil party are invisible? And it's about time we were reminded that Sylvia picked up a sword in the Night's Dark Terror that has detect invisibility once per day, and she picked that up in, I've forgotten the mage's name, but his fortress, I believe it was picked up there. So let's rest up and let's check for a wandering monster on a roll of a 1. And there isn't any. So even though they keep watch throughout the night, they see nobody leaving this door. So it is the next day, and Sylvia is going to cast her knock spell on the door, and that opens it. They're going to cast silence 15 foot radius on, well, to begin with, they're going to cast it on Liz. Liz then moves away from Malin so he can cast invisibility upon her, and with the knock spell, the door opens easily, and there is a welcoming party for them. And it looks like this. I think I will end this session here. It's a bit shorter than normal and a lot shorter than last session, which was longer than normal. The reason I will end it here is because I did actually play this fight and it went on for some time. The party faced off a new level 4 spell called Confusion, and it proved to be, I would say, quite procedural, certainly more admin heavy than many other spells. I did have to play through the fight 2 times because halfway through the first time I realised I'd made some admin errors. But anyway, there's all that to look forward to for next time. So, I will see you then.